Good morning, middle school. Few announcements. Tomorrow we have our athletic assembly from 2:30 to 3, and dismissal will be right after that. And then on Thursday we have our Arts and Music Festival, and that will be the lower school portion will begin at 6 o'clock, and the middle school portion will begin at 7:15, and it should end by 8 o'clock. So if you're on the ensemble, I know you're preparing for it. There is a rehearsal today from 1:30 to 3, right, Mr. Ormsby? And then tomorrow again you'll have practice, and then even if you're not in the ensemble, just come to encourage your classmates who are going to be participating and performing in it. And then on Friday, we will have our electives. I forgot to include that in the calendar last week, but this Friday we will have our electives. Right. Any other announcements? And then we are coming up on a long weekend. So Memorial Day weekend is coming up. So this will be our last 5-day week, I guess, right before the end of the school year. All right. This morning, it is my privilege and joy to introduce our chapel speaker, Mrs. Narog. Ms. Narog, as you know, is our learning integration specialist, and she's been with us for about 2 years now, a little over a year and a half. Sometimes I wonder what we would do without Mrs. Narog. She's such a wonderful resource. She's a strong and a passionate advocate for the students. She exudes care and support for students. She's a great coach to the teachers, and she's a wonderful member of our many teams. And she also works with students in pre-K through 8th grade. I know many of you have had the opportunity already to work with Ms. Narog, and I hope that in the years ahead, you will get more opportunities to work with her and get to know her better. And she is such a blessing to us, and we're very fortunate to have Mrs. Narog at Montgomery School. So I can't wait to hear what she has to talk to us about. And so please join me in welcoming Mrs. Narog to the stage.
Lovely introduction. Good morning, middle school. It's exciting to be with you guys the last full week before summer break. Wow. This is a privilege to be here for one of these last few chapels. Kind of brings what I wanted to talk about today, change. So with just a couple weeks left before our summer break, there's a feeling of excitement and change and anticipation in the air, right? I think we're all a little excited. It's okay to admit it, right? We're all looking forward to a little bit of a summer break. You guys feel that too? Kind of feel it in the air, the weather's changing. You can get excited, it's okay. It's okay, you can show a little bit. Yeah, it's all right, we won't take offense that you're excited for summer. So change, and something's to become different, to modify or alter, right? Change is inevitable for all of us at some point in our life. And as summer approaches, we're about to change our daily routine, right? We're about to experience some sort of transition or adjustment just now, even with that summer break. And as exciting as that summer break might be or feel, it's still a change. And whether it be starting a new school in the fall, or a new camp this summer, or moving your house, or making new friends, whatever it may be, even just the change in your daily schedule, things can create a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of feeling unsettled and unsure of what's to come. We're all about to face this change, myself included, as the school year comes to a close. I want you to just take just a second and think about what might be changing in your life. What are you feeling maybe a little anxious about or excited about? You might be feeling anxious of what's to come, whether it's good or bad, right? Personally, I'm a person who does best when I'm following a regular schedule. And those of you who know me and come see me and work with me, you know that, right? I do best with the schedule. If I have too much unstructured time on my hands, I get nothing done. Can anyone else relate to that? Yeah, I get nothing done. So as we enter this time of break and rest, where schedules slow a little bit down, I struggle to stay motivated. It's true. I don't even stay motivated. I have to come up with a plan of how I'm going to keep going. Do you have trouble staying motivated when things slow way down? Yeah, it's hard. What do you do when you do that? Do you make a plan? You think about what you might do next? So taking a break and slowing down isn't always a bad thing, right? We all need it. We all need to take a break. We all need some rest. We all need to reset and have that downtime. But knowing that I struggle with those changes, it's something that I am really aware of for myself. Changes can be hard. Changes forces us to adjust, and it can be unsettling at times, right? Change is adjustment. It's shifting. It can be growing, right? You're advancing. It can be a lot of things. It can also create a lot of emotion. All of those. Excitement, anxiety, happiness, fear, maybe all of them all at once. I know I experience all of them all at once. It can be very confusing. Even a positive change can throw things off and create that stress. Sometimes one of the scariest things is just not knowing what's to come. You might have an idea. For those of you like our 8th grade going to a new school, you know you're going somewhere new next year. You know that you can anticipate that. But there's still a little bit of the unknown. You don't know what the day-to-day is going to be like. You need to think about what is to come. But I can tell you, you guys are all amazing. We've seen you shift. We've seen you adapt. We've seen you tackle this change, right? And we know that your track record of doing so is 100%. So don't ever forget that. Looking ahead, I want you to think about what lies ahead for you. Again, like I said, our 8th graders, there's some changes coming your way. For 6th and 7th, you guys are moving up in the school, right? And with that comes great responsibility, right? There's younger kids looking up to you. You are now stepping into those shoes. Regardless of your plans for the summer, or maybe what you're doing in the fall, or even what you're thinking about next week, daily routines are going to get a shake-up. Maybe it means you're having the chance to sleep in, or stay up a little later this summer. But even those small adjustments in your daily routine affect the bigger things throughout the day. Change doesn't need to be huge to have an impact. It doesn't need to be scary or life-threatening. Change can be development or modification or a shift or that switch. It leads to growth, progression, and transformation. Change can lead to discovering things about yourself that you never knew before. When we think of how we change, we know that even in the most challenging times, change equals growth. I'm going to share with you some things. I've had big changes in my life over the years. From starting a career after college to changing that career once I realized my mother was right. To then becoming a parent and moving from 6 different states within a period of about 9 years or so. So within about those 9 years, I moved from Pennsylvania to New York City, to Colorado, to Massachusetts, to Connecticut, and back to Pennsylvania. I've had to say goodbye to family and friends time and again. I've ventured over 1,500 miles away to a place where we, Mr. Narog and I, didn't know a soul. I should add to this, I had a couple of big moves when I was a 6th grader and a junior in high school. And at the time, I certainly didn't think anything good would ever come of it. I was angry, I was sad, I was scared. But I can look back now and see that those changes and those big moves when I was a student led to me feeling comfortable and confident in taking those leaps as an adult. So when Mr. Narog and I were presented with opportunities to move to all those different states, the answer was always a yes, because why not? And I knew that I could bloom wherever I was planted. And I learned from those changes that I can make friends wherever I go. I can settle in wherever I go and embrace that community. I can embrace that lifestyle. I can learn wherever I am. I was able to connect with people over shared experiences, and I was able to meet people and hear the stories of lives who were completely different from my own. I learned that it was fun to discover new places and new things and new hobbies. But there was one thing I never did get used to in Colorado. The mountain lions. I had to add this in because I never got used to it. All that change and all that time, never got used to it. I put this picture in here. It's hard to see with the glare, I think. But on these 2 slides on the right, you see my husband and my then toddler running down a pretty steep hill. And on the bottom is me carrying my younger son in my backpack. And we went in through the back entrance that day, right? No big deal. We hike that trail all the time. But when we got to the trailhead, we saw that there was a sign that morning, that there was a mountain lion in the area that morning, and that to keep small children and pets close. Needless to say, I still just never got used to it. I hugged my son and said, well, we made it. Glad we came on the other side. Not sure who was watching us in those trees, but we did it. So while I like to think I can embrace all kinds of change, there are some that I just never quite got used to. I'm still working on that one. Some smaller changes I've experienced are similar to what all of us are facing in a couple of weeks. Schedule changes. Ugh. Change in my daily routine really throws me out of sorts. And I saw earlier a lot of you can relate to that. So it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but we're in a trusted space. During the school year, I wake up at the same time every day. I follow the same routine. I do the same exact thing every single day without fail. It's predictable, and it provides me with some structure. So when we have these extended breaks, I really have to think about what my routine and my days will look like. How am I going to stay motivated and on top of things and get things done? The first few days of summer, like I mentioned, are usually a bit of a mess for me. I don't know which end is up. I feel out of sorts. I get nothing done. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to embrace summer, but the shift takes a little getting used to. For me, it's about setting little goals. I'm serious. I really am. I know a lot of you, I talk to you about goals and goal setting and doing all that, but I really mean it. It doesn't have to be as big as it sounds. It can be as simple as maybe I'm going to exercise before 10 a.m. Sets a goal, sets a time, gives me something to tackle. I don't spend the whole morning putting it off and doing other things that really don't seem to matter. Or I'll set a goal to read one chapter of a fun book before I take my kids to the pool or do something for them. I take that time scheduled in to do something for myself. It gives me a sense of routine, and it gives me something to accomplish. These simple goals help keep me grounded while also giving me the space to adjust to the new routine. So think about what your summer looks like, right? Think about what you do. What are you going to do to stay motivated? Because some of those days, as great as they are, they can feel a little long, right? So whether it's big changes like a move or small changes like that in the daily routine, we can approach them though in a similar way. Looking ahead to where you're going or what may be coming can help you prepare for what is to come, no matter what it might be. As you're likely aware, and you can tell now, I like routine. Routine keeps me grounded, routine keeps me focused. But what leaning into change has taught me is that I can shake up my routine, and I can adapt, and I can still continue to thrive. I can be successful in new situations if I'm willing to adapt to what's around me. I can grow and I can learn about myself in these new experiences and the new normal. I can embrace that change. What we learn about ourselves in each of these smaller moments helps us to evolve and grow in all aspects of life. Because, like I said, change is inevitable. So I want to just share with you a few strategies that have helped me as I face change, big and small. So preparing yourself mentally, we don't always know when a change is coming. But when we do, we can prepare to the best of our ability. Think about what you do know. Is there anything you can do to feel better prepared? Supplies you need, knowing where to go, knowing how much time you need to get there. You get the idea. The more you can prepare, the stronger you can feel in the face of change. Focus on the positives versus the negatives. It isn't shocking, and I would add this one in if you know me. When you focus on the positive, you're able to see the good in what you're about to embark on. Don't let the negative thoughts weigh you down. That can get heavy. How you talk to yourself matters. Some of you may have heard me talk about this before. Talk to yourself like you would a dear friend. Positive thoughts and positive words matter, and they'll make you feel stronger when facing the new or unknown. Journaling is a fantastic and simple way to start, but that's another day. We can talk about that another day. Keep a routine. Even little things like waking up or going to bed at the same time can help your ability to cope, since it provides you with a sense of structure during a time that might be uncertain in your life. Take care of yourself. Everyday activities like getting enough sleep, eating healthy, and exercising are small ways that you can show yourself some love and support while working through change. Practicing mindfulness or meditation are excellent ways to ground yourself. You may even find that in doing these things, that the first few on the list are easier to implement. Lastly, lean on your friends and family for support. Change can be hard. I know I keep saying it, but even positive change can create some stress in your life. You are surrounded right now by people who care about you. Lean into that. Lean into that. We're all here to support you. You've got people all around your life who are looking to support you and are listening for you to reach out. Friends, family, advisors, anyone you feel comfortable talking to. Tell them you're feeling overwhelmed. Ask for help coping with all that you have on your plate. I guarantee there is someone in this room right now who is more than willing to listen. So while this might seem like a far stretch in talking about summer break, I do hope you're able to see the connections, big and small. I want you to think about what lies ahead for you, whether it's next week or in 6 months. How are you going to prepare for the changes that you're about to experience? How are you going to approach them? Do you think you'll stick to some sort of schedule or set some goals for yourself? Or maybe you'll fly by the seat of your pants. Maybe you can do that. I can't. Right? But it's these smaller pieces. Summer break is even just one small piece in the greater puzzle of your journey. I hope that you face whatever change that lies ahead with courage, strength, faith in yourself, and perhaps most important, a little bit of humor. Change is inevitable, and nothing is ever perfect. The growth and joy is in the journey. I hope the next couple of weeks of school are filled with happiness as you enjoy the present and prepare for what is to come.